Taylor Edwards writes, "Hey guys, love the show. What was the last movie you rented from Blockbuster?" Blockbuster.
Do they still exist?
The last one. I mean, before it went out, before it went under.
I couldn't tell you that.
I remember.
Do you?
I remember
Wow.
mine. It's my all-time favorite comedy. Noises Off. It was the last video that I rented at a Blockbuster, and it was actually in LA. It was that recently. It was only 6.5 years ago. I was living in my first apartment in LA, which was right in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, and there was a Blockbuster, one of the last gasping ones, right on the corner of. Don't want to say Vine. What's the street that you go down to get to the Grove from Sunset?
Fairfax?
Fairfax, thank you. It was right by Sunset in Fairfax, and I went in there, and the very last movie I ever rented from that place was, I hadn't seen Noises Off in a while, and I got Noises Off.
I actually just got a flashback of my movie, and I didn't think I would. It was Zombieland, and it was on the Blockbuster on Robertson many years ago before it closed as well. And I actually was going through some of my old cards, and I had a Blockbuster certificate, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't remember at all. I mean, I used to, at some point, I remember I was buying a lot of them because I had those bins that I would just go and buy DVDs there, but I can't remember the last one.
Okay, I'm sorry to use up one of our last few minutes here on the show on this, but I gotta tell this story about Blockbuster. So a couple years ago, I'm doing some interviews for, what was the name of the Zach Galifianakis, Will Ferrell? This is the campaign? Is that the name of it? So they're doing interviews for the campaign, and I'm standing there waiting for them to come down to me, and they come over, so Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis come up, and I'm like, hey guys, John, I hadn't met Zach before, and yeah, it's John from AMC. He goes, oh, AMC. And then Will Ferrell cuts in.
I remember this.
You remember this?
Good story.
Will Ferrell cuts in and says, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear about you guys. And Zach Galifianakis turns and goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, AMC's going out of business. And I just decided, whatever reason, to play along. And I go, yeah, I just got told that today's my last day, actually. And Zach Galifianakis is like, oh no, that's awful, that's terrible. He said, are you married? And I said, yeah. And while I don't have kids, I said, and I've got some kids too. So Zach Galifianakis pulls out his wallet and hands me a couple of bucks. He goes, here, man. I'm like, oh, well, thanks. That was really nice of you. He goes, do you have another job lined up yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. I'll work on it. So he pulls his wallet out again and gives me another 20 or 30. At which point, Will Ferrell, he swears and says, that's weak. Get out of my way. And Will Ferrell pulls out a $100 bill and hands me a $100 bill. And then they both start digging through their wallets to see if they got anything else to give me, because I'm about to lose my job. And in the process, Will Ferrell, as he's digging through his wallet, goes, oh, look, he pulls out a Blockbuster card. And Galifianakis goes, you have a Blockbuster card in your wallet? He goes, what are you talking about, man? I just bought 10,000 shares in Blockbuster. I think it was a pretty sound investment. They just went back and forth on that for a while.
Is that on? Can you find that too?
Yeah, we've got that. It's on our YouTube channel here somewhere. So
good.
Then Anne took a still of that interview.
I remember.
Anne took a still picture of that interview, and she took one of the dollar bills that Zach Galifianakis gave me, and she framed the picture in a frame with the dollar bill.
You didn't give the money back, John?
I did. Actually, no. I turned to Zach Galifianakis and I said, "Here, man, do you want your money back?" He goes, "No, man, just keep it." It was only 36 of his dollars I had. But Will Ferrell goes, "F that," and reaches and pulls his $100 bill back. He goes, "That's $100." He takes his $100 bill back.
There's a skit right there.
Oh, it was so great.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.